Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to cover 555 timer IC. So first, I'm going to give you introduction to 555 IC. Then we are going to see the block diagram of timer IC in detail. I'm going to explain you everything in simple way, and this is very important topic. Just like 741 op-amp IC, 555 timer IC is equally important in linear integrated circuits. So if you are studying this topic for your college exams, prepare this topic well. So now let's see what is 555 timer IC. So 555 IC is a timing circuit that can produce accurate and highly stable time delays or oscillations. So you can produce oscillations with different time delays, with different pulse widths with 555 IC. Okay. So just like 741 IC, 555 timer IC is also 8-pin IC. So it has 8 pins, which we are going to see in some time. So why this IC is called 555 IC? In the block diagram of this IC, there are 3 resistors of 5K. That's why we call this IC 555 timer IC. Okay, so these resistors play a very significant role in the operation of 555 IC. Okay, the applications of this IC: monostable, unstable multivibrators, then waveform generator, DC to DC converters, voltage regulators, and alarms. So wherever you want to produce oscillations with time delays and with different pulse speeds, there you can use this 555 IC. Now this is the pin diagram of 555 IC. It has 8 pins. First pin is ground and 8th pin is VCC. Okay, and we are taking our output from 3rd pin. Then 4th pin is reset. Now we can understand what is the purpose of these pins by their names itself: ground, VCC, output, reset. So the pins which are left, like trigger, discharge, threshold, and control voltage, these pins are important pins of 555 IC. Now we are going to study these pins in details through block diagram. Okay, you'll get to know all the details in some time. Okay, now this is the block diagram of 555 IC. Whatever there is inside this red color box is present inside the IC. Now if we are finding this very complex, don't worry, this is very simple, and we are going to study this part by part. So this brown part you are seeing, these are just 3 resistors connected to the comparator. So the resistors network is the first part we are going to see individually. Then this blue part means these 2 comparators we are going to study individually. Then the third part of this diagram is SR flip-flop. Okay, so resistors, comparators, and flip-flop all together make this block diagram. Apart from these main components, there is just output stage where there will be power amplifier, and then there is one transistor. So to the first end of this resistor network, we are going to give VCC, and to the other end, we are going to give ground. Then 3rd pin is here, output, and 4th pin is reset, which is going to reset the flip-flop. If you see on left side, threshold and control voltage pins are going to first comparator, then trigger pin is going to the second comparator, and discharge pin is connected to the transistor. So let's start with resistors. Now I'm going to find out what is the voltage at this point and this point. Okay, so we are going to use simple voltage division rule. Okay, so now our source voltage is VCC. So if I want to find out VA, okay, voltage at point A, so it is nothing but voltage across these 2 resistors. So I have written 10 here, 5 plus 5, 10. Then in denominator, we write total resistance, which is 15K here, and then we multiply by source voltage, which is VCC. So VA will be 2 by 3 VCC. So voltage at point A is 2 by 3 VCC. Now similarly, we will find voltage at point B, which is voltage across only this resistor, only 5K. So I'll write 5K numerator. Total resistance is 15K into source voltage VCC, and our VB is 1/3 VCC. So my VB is 1/3 VCC. Now we will go back to block diagram and see. We found out VA and VB. So VA was this point, 2/3 VCC, and VB was this point, 1/3 VCC. Okay. Then the second part is comparators. Now there are 2 comparators in our block diagram. But before that, I'm going to brush up the concept of comparator. Okay, so I'm going to explain you basic comparator first. And if you already know the working of comparator, you can skip this part. So this is open loop op-amp. Open loop op-amp can have only 2 outputs, plus VSAT and minus VSAT. Okay, so it will give oscillations between plus VSAT and minus VSAT. Now there are 2 types of comparator, inverting and non-inverting. So your comparator will always have 2 inputs, V reference and V in. Okay, so V reference means something constant with which you will be comparing your input. So your input will be something like this and you will be comparing it with some constant reference value. Okay, so in non-inverting comparator, you give your input to non-inverting terminal. And in inverting comparator, you give your input to inverting terminal. Okay, now we'll look at graphs of inverting comparator. The red one is my input and the blue line is my V reference. So at this point, my input crosses V reference. Okay, so now my V in is greater than V reference. Okay, so in inverting comparators, your output will be minus Vsat. Okay, so in this period, my output is minus Vsat. Now in non-inverting comparator, you will get Vsat for V in greater than V reference because it is non-inverting and this waveform is for inverting. So the opposite is happening. Now at this point again, your input is dropping down to V reference. Now your V in is less than V reference, so your output is plus Vsat. It is very simple to understand. Okay. Similarly, in our block diagram, there is one inverting comparator and non-inverting comparator. And the same concept will be applied. Okay. You have your trigger input to the inverting terminal, like here it was V in, there it is trigger. Now your reference is, your V reference is 1/3 VCC. So whenever your trigger input will be greater than 1/3 VCC, your output will be low. And whenever your trigger input is less than 1/3 VCC, your output will be high. Now we will see third part, that is flip-flop. Now we have all studied SR flip-flop in digital circuits. So we all know when there is 0, 0 at SR, you'll get no change at output side. Then if you give 0, 1, means if you give 1 at reset, then you will get output 0, means reset, and your Q bar will be 1. Similarly, if you give 1, 0, means your S is 1, then your output will be set, means you will get 1 at output and 0 at Q bar. Okay, and 1, 1 condition is invalid. So we have brushed up the SR flip-flop also in order to understand the working clearly. Now we will come back to block diagram. Now at this point, there is 1/3 VCC reference voltage and this is inverting comparator. So the purpose of trigger pin is for applying input voltage. Here you will give input signal. Now if you give some pulse at pin 2, now this is negative pulse, so your input is less than V reference, right? And when your input is less than V reference, your output of comparator turns high. Okay, so your output will be plus Vsat. Just now we have studied this concept. So your output of comparator 2 is 1. This output is connected to the R pin of flip-flop. Means your flip-flop is reset. So your Q will be 0 and Q bar will be 1. And this Q bar is connected to the output stage. So this means your output is high. Okay, output is high. Now this 0 is going to this transistor. Okay, now it is not affecting this transistor because it is 0. It will not turn on this transistor. So I applied negative pulse at input side at pin number 2. My second comparator's output turned high, which made my flip-flop reset, and the output of IC was high. Now let's come to second step. Now we know that the voltage across this point is 2/3 VCC. This comparator is non-inverting comparator. This was inverting. Okay, here we are giving input to non-inverting terminal. So this is non-inverting comparator. Now when your input will cross 2/3 VCC, okay, this is reference voltage. So when your threshold voltage crosses your V reference, means 2/3 VCC, your output of comparator will turn high. So you'll get 1 here, which will set your flip-flop, and you'll get 1 at Q and 0 at Q bar. 0 will go to your output stage and you'll get 0 at output, means low at output. So in the first step, when we were looking at this comparator, your output was high and now your output turned low. Okay, so in this way, these comparators will turn your output from high to low or low to high. So you understood the basic concept. Now what is the purpose of control voltage and discharge? Now the purpose of control voltage means pin number 5 is to change your pulse width of output. So you can connect a pot between this pin and the ground and you can change your pulse width of output waveform. And if you are not using this pin, you connect this pin to ground with one capacitor. Simple. Now let's come to discharge. Okay, discharge pin. Now I cannot explain you the discharge pin's purpose with only this block diagram. We need some external components. Okay, so let's add some external components. So your pin number 6 was your threshold. It will monitor the voltage across some external capacitor. So let's connect one capacitor at threshold pin. So I'll draw this capacitor here. So I can connect this pin 7 to capacitor. Okay. Now our pin 7 is connected to the capacitor. Now let's add a resistor between pin 6 and VCC. Okay. So we connected just resistor and capacitor. Now this capacitor will start charging. Okay, it has this path. This path it will follow and it will start charging towards VCC. Okay, so my capacitor's voltage is increasing. It's approaching to VCC. Now this point is connected to the first comparator. Okay, and it has reference voltage 2/3 VCC. So as soon as voltage across capacitor will try to cross 2/3 VCC, your comparator's output will be high. So if we say VC is voltage across capacitor, when VC will be greater than 2/3 VCC, your output will be high. So it will set this flip-flop, your output will be 1 and Q bar will be 0. So now you can see that this Q is going to the base of transistor, means it will turn it on. So your transistor will get switched on and it will act as a short circuit. Now this path is short circuited. Okay, so your capacitor which was holding some charge VC will get path to discharge. It will discharge through this short circuit path to the ground. Okay, so your capacitor voltage will drop. So in this way discharge pin is used. So first we studied the comparators and how output is changing from high to low and low to high, and then we studied the role of transistor. So this is the fundamental working of 555 IC. So if you have understood this concept clearly, then it will be very easy to study monostable, unstable, etc. Okay, I hope you have understood this block diagram very well. I have tried my best to make it easy for you. You can check out my other videos of op-amp and linear integrated circuits. I'm sure they will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching.